So I wanted to go back a second and just touch on the attribution piece, because I know you've worked a lot with measurement, Brian, recently. Yeah. Can you speak a little bit to how we kind of look at that?
Yeah, sure. Here's what goes down basically. My sort of blunt take, right, is the networks. Alex talked about all the stakeholders here, right? You're getting ads from what we'll generally refer to as just networks, right? They can be called SSPs, they can be called networks. Some are SDKs, some are not. But the good actors actually tend to be Google and Facebook, right? They're too big, they're too regulated, they have too much to lose. They actually play the game pretty straight, right? And they actually have all this data that gives them advantage. Other networks that are trying to compete with Google and Facebook have to do other things. They don't have the advantages that Google and Facebook have. And so they attempt to, what I call game the system, right? Which is to take a step back, right? Most of the UA world is performance-based, that is optimized against, the last touch or last click, attribution. Sometimes it's now an engaged view and not a click, so we'll call it last touch. But some networks will, bake into the fact that because they are actually rendering the creative with the SDK, I should be specific, this is really specific to the ones that have an SDK integrated, which gives them the power to render that creative themselves and do whatever they like to it. So the advertiser themselves don't even know this, what they're paying for, right? Yeah. And so they render that creative with X's that don't close, X's in the wrong location, X's that disappear,
X's that exist but haven't been turned active yet. So it's like, oh, it's lit up, but it's not lit up fully. It's got to glow, it's got to flash before I can click on it.
So it started really as first like, let me try to get you to accidentally click on the ad. But now they've really gone into just like, we're just going to manufacture it, whether you like it or not, right? And so you can see this across networks that have 60% click-through rates, right? So, you get redirected to the app store, et cetera. Like there's so many different ways that they can just sort of game to create some sort of click, which ends up going back to the attribution companies. And whether you install the game at that point or later, right? Like they're trying to get credit for that click. And so that's what we see a lot, and trying to, it's become, something that I've actually been going back to my incentive quote, right? Is maybe last touch is not the right way to be doing attribution for UA managers and UA teams any longer, because it does create some of these bad incentives.